Lucien's fourth meal.
Order number 47. Number 47, your order's ready.
Cameras are rolling.
We rolling.
Mics are on. Coffee's
We
in
good?
hand. Guest is here.
Here.
Fourth Meal Podcast. HeadlinerMusicClub.com brought to you by Zen. We are back. Once again, shouts to everybody that shares it with their friend. It's growing. It's growing.
Very fast.
A lot of people come up to us at the gigs, love the podcast, and a lot of people have topic advice. Keep sharing those. DM them to Headliner Music Club on the Instagram. And to DJs, once again, if you are not a part of HMC, get the fire edits and remixes. Get 50% off your first month by using the code word HMC Podcast, all caps, all together. I know it's like repetitive, but you got to do the intro every time. Vice like knew it, the intro. He did it.
I still don't know it.
He did it.
He's like, all caps.
Five still doesn't know it.
I gotta start writing it down.
But yeah, we are on YouTube. Just shouts to everybody that's watching us, looking at the beautiful tie-dye over here. Rasta man. And my igloo coat, as James Vickery called it. But yeah, we're back. Devin Lucien, welcome to the podcast.
What up, guys?
How you doing,
Finally.
bro? We've been trying to get Devin on for a long time.
I know. It finally
Definitely
happened.
one of our first picks.
But you have an excuse, man. Brand new
Family, man.
son.
Yes.
About
A
to
year
be
into it
year.
now, so
About to be a year, but that's still brand new.
Still new.
And it's a lot of work.
Still new.
We have a lot in common. We all DJ individually, and then you also have a duo.
I do.
You
Yes.
DJ with Brody Jenner.
True.
We'll ask about that, pros and cons.
Okay.
Like, do you hate Brody sometimes the way I hate Five, and vice versa, or yeah, welcome, bro.
Glad to be here.
Sir.
For sure.
Thanks for
How
having
was
me.
you fresh from Sundance, right?
Yeah, Sundance. Was it Super Bowl last week? Sundance a week before.
Did you DJ at Super Bowl?
Yeah, I did the Bootsy pop up.
I saw that.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
you, Post, Zach Bia,
Irie, and Von Miller DJ to set.
Von Miller
Von
DJs?
Miller DJ to set.
No
yeah.
way.
I didn't know he DJ'd.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
How'd he do? No
Honestly,
comment?
I
No,
wasn't.
just kidding.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
How
Seems like,
crazy
you know.
is fucking Zach, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid's massive.
I
Yeah.
feel like you guys are on tour. You, Zach, and Post.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, because you guys were with Post on at
Yeah.
Sundance.
He came with Post to the Sundance thing.
Yeah.
Yo, so we did a HMC conference with Post,
Early
and
ones,
like
too.
he hung out with us all night.
Right.
Like we went to a little pool hall in Burbank,
Crazy.
and like he would go to, he's a big chain smoker.
Yeah.
So he'd go downstairs and like come back with a random dude. Hey, this is my new buddy. And like, what's your name again? Oh, this is my buddy Joseph or whatever. And, and then the dude Joseph's in the private room hanging out with us. And he like people would look at him like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm friends with Post. Like, bro, you just met him downstairs, you liar.
Yo, he is
but
the
he's
coolest dude.
Yeah.
The
though.
nicest guy.
Coolest dude.
Such like
It's
he's just
shocking,
a good time.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's like it catches you off guard because he's so nice.
Yeah,
You're
he's
just
so
like,
chill.
whoa,
Especially
this is
now,
crazy.
because like back then it was pre-face tats.
Yeah.
Right.
At the conference, he actually was like, "Oh, I want to play my new song," because he was promoting "Congratulations,"
Yeah.
Right.
and then he was like,
Psycho,
"Oh, my new
right?
song," and it was Rockstar,
Oh, Rockstar, yeah.
Crazy.
unmastered, the whole time. It was like amazing. And now just to
Crazy.
see how big he is, like he headlined "Life Is Beautiful," bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And
I would
I'm
say
sure-
he's one of the biggest rock stars
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
world
For
right
sure.
now.
For
You know?
for sure. But just to see like him in the videos, like when you guys post them, or
Right.
I saw videos of him at 11, just
Right.
like handing out money.
Yeah, he like would just have his arm around me, leaning on me,
Yeah.
giving me
saw
smokes.
photos.
Like I was just like, this is crazy, you know?
The
Yeah,
best part
you're
about
like
your
my new best
photos
friend.
was Allie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Allie's face was so funny in that.
Yeah.
There was one where she was like mesmerized, another one where she was just like,
Yeah, she did like a little slide. It was pretty
it was
fun.
like disgusted.
Shout out to Allie.
What's
Yeah,
up,
it was-
Allie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, bro? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good.
How many nights a week are you DJing now? You're like a worker.
I'm DJing like 4 nights a week. I like to make money,
wow.
and I
Yeah.
like to stay busy, you know?
4 nights a week is
How
like
much of it is traveling?
Sometimes more. Usually traveling on the weekends, like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, so same here.
Yeah, and then I do my Wednesday and Thursday in LA,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Do you
sometimes I'll
prefer
pick up
like
a Tuesday or
you
something.
prefer local gigs or traveling?
I would-
Obviously, for the sake of being in your own bed and being with
Yes.
the family local.
Yes.
But obviously for the
party
money
vibe
wise
of
and
it,
the
yeah,
party
and the money.
vibe
Yes.
and the money and
Yes.
you like to travel.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know LA doesn't really go that crazy in the clubs. Like
Yeah.
you're not,
They're
it's
pretty
not a
chill.
huge dancing
Yeah.
crowd. So of course, like playing in Vegas, Miami, where people are there to party and
Yeah.
having fun, it's the energy is fun, and you can play, more.
But what I
energy
do love
music
about
and-
Devin sets is like when I go see him at Warwick, you'll throw on like you'll see me and we have like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Morrissey connection, and he'll throw on like Morrissey, like prime time.
Super-
right.
I feel like you can't really get away with that like
Nah.
not in Vegas.
Nah, and I got a long leash in LA, especially like at places like Warwick. Like
Yeah.
I
Do whatever the
feel
hell
the
you
freedom to
Yeah.
do whatever I want, so I can pull out some random shit
Yeah.
and throw it
Yeah.
I
on.
remember you played like The Baby and like Vampire Weekend or some shit, and I was like, oh damn,
Yeah,
Devin's wild.
I like to. Yeah,
No, it's good though, but it's
Yeah.
like refreshing.
Especially if you're there like every week, you have to like
And
just have
I think
fun.
LA appreciates that a little more too. You know?
Yeah, I think LA, like in the last probably like 4 or 5 years, has become kind of like the epicenter
Yeah.
for music. So people are kind of open
Yeah.
to you like doing something different, and
Yeah.
and they accept it more because you can't really get away with that in a lot of
Yeah.
cities.
And
No,
the
anywhere.
throwback sets too are coming back, like shit from like
Yeah.
10 years ago, like 15. You know, so
I've noticed like the early 2000 stuff is really
Yeah,
popping.
Yeah, we
in
had
the club.
dinner with Vice a week ago, and
Yeah.
his son started DJing. His son's
Right.
21, goes to
Right.
college in Santa Barbara, and he was like, "Oh yeah," so I always ask him like what the biggest song is. Guess what the biggest song is in like his little frat scene,
Dude,
like
20
a throwback,
21-year-olds.
DMX or something.
bro. My humps,
Yeah.
My humps.
my humps. Fergie, is that Fergie or Black Eyed
Yeah.
Peas?
I don't know.
Is that a
There's
Fergie
one
I
record?
think it's.
I think it's a Black Eyed Peas.
I think it's a
record.
Black Eyed Peas.
Bro,
record.
My Humps is the biggest record, and he said,
That's crazy.
And I think, did you try
We
it?
played it at night and it worked.
Right.
And
It's
it's crazy because that set, whatever 120 BPM set,
Right.
from like way back when we used to play it, I
Yeah.
still have it on my iTunes. So I'm like, oh, should I have that whole set from like 10 years ago?
Those
It's
are
crazy.
bangers.
I'm
though.
running
you have,
them
like,
back,
the
dude.
Timberland, the way I are.
Yeah,
whatever.
Way are like Nelly
Yeah,
Furtado.
Nelly Furtado, the
But
JT
Bison-
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Vice and Rise were talking about it, and they basically were like, yeah, these girls when they're 14 or whatever,
right.
and now they're in the club, they want to hear it just brings good
Yeah,
memories
yeah,
to
yeah.
them,
One record I always play like in the like before 12 o'clock or around there is like Britney Spears, "I'm a Slave for You."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the beat on that is just
so-
it's
I mean,
still
Neptunes,
ridiculous.
bro.
If I heard it, I would
Neptunes.
be
Yeah,
shocked.
yeah.
And
I
it
still run that
you know,
every so often,
it's a
too.
fun
Yeah.
it's a fun record to hear.
Yeah,
you know?
and girls love Britney.
Yes. Yeah.
Like no girl's gonna be mad if you play some Britney
And I
or
mean,
Beyonce.
if you get girls dancing, then the rest of the night
all that
is-
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you
I'm
get the
trying
girls
to
in,
impress the dudes.
Yeah.
the
exactly.
guys can't be mad at you. It's like,
Exactly.
yo, bro.
Yeah,
Unless
if the
they
girls
tip
are
you
dancing, it's
$1,000,
good
yeah.
for them, right? You
Yeah.
know.
What was it in that Drake interview? Was it the Rap Radar one?
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
he was just like people, talk about the music that I make and like soft and whatever. He was like, yeah, like sorry, I'm not making music for you dusty ass dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like could have like yeah, like of course I make music for women. Like
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean,
so
I like
true.
to play those records too, but
Yeah.
you gotta.
We
you gotta
talked
have
about
that
doing a
balance.
night one like years, maybe
Yes.
at least 2 years ago.
Yeah,
We're
I feel like
let's
we
do
talked
a
about it
80s night.
recently
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
That-
still should.
We
'cause
should.
You know those parties are like becoming bigger than ever, like the specialty parties.
Right.
Dude,
right.
they're bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Actually, did you DJ the 2000s one with Zach? Or
No,
was that
no, that was Politic,
Politic?
and,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and Ruckus and them. I
They're
think.
still doing it,
and
though, right?
Jesse Marco?
Yeah,
Right,
Jesse
the-
Marco. Yeah, I think the last one they did was at the
The
Edition.
Edition, yeah.
Whose party is that? Is that
That's
Zach's?
theirs.
Yeah, I think it's Paul and
Paul and-
Jesse.
yeah.
Oh, it's Paul and Jesse's.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to do
Yeah,
some
we need
like,
to run up on that.
Yeah, and doing it once a month isn't a lot of pressure.
No,
or
It's
even
not.
every
Not at
other
all.
month, or
especially if
something,
you build
know?
it at like a smaller venue and then
Right.
just
We
kind
should
of
do
build
like the
them in.
old school like parties where like you leave like a number or email and then
Yeah.
you find out the day of where the party is.
Oh, dial now or
Yeah,
dial up
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that good stuff.
That would be fresh.
That'd be
That's-
fresh.
I
that's
think
a good
that's
one.
important, just even for us, just
Yeah.
to be able to go and play
Yeah, it's
different
refreshing,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Helps
we
you
get
keep
so
your
tired.
sanity as a
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
If you go in and you're just playing club music every night, it gets exhausting and
Yeah.
you kind of lose your creativity.
What are
Dude,
some of the things
yeah.
that drain you the most about like the DJ? We've been doing it for so long. Like what are some things where you're just like don't look forward to that night because you know it's gonna happen? Whether it's like, the crowd it wants certain music or request or drunk people, like whatever. There's just always something.
I think for me, like the biggest battle is like, if it like on a Wednesday night, like I don't want to go out and drink and party.
Yeah, so that's the
and
same thing.
sometimes it's very hard for me to DJ without drinking.
Yeah.
Most times it is.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest struggle is like, okay, I know that I'm going in this environment where there's drinks everywhere, everybody's partying, and if I'm in LA, you know, so many people that are out, everybody's bringing you shots.
And I feel like it's random, like people just pop up. Like every time we go to Warwick, we don't tell you.
Right.
We pull up on you, and then you're like,
or yeah, you guys
and then you
text
like
me
call
at
the
like
waitress,
1 a.m.
and then
you're
you'll
like,
call
yeah,
the
we're coming
waitress to
through.
get us shots. You're like,
Yeah,
all right, and we
Yeah.
like pretty much bum you out.
Yeah,
Is it easy for you not to drink at Warwick? Because you've been in that room for so
Nah,
long.
it's still hard because a big thing for me is like I have anxiety. So
Oh, yeah.
as many times as
too.
I DJ'd the same room, I still get anxiety about being social,
sure.
showing up, talking to everybody, and then the performance anxiety. And once I'm DJing, I'm cool and I'm good, but having a couple drinks kind of helps me get there quicker.
Bro, I'm the same way. I
So-
have crazy anxiety.
Yeah.
As I drink coffee, but
Yeah, that doesn't
makes
help.
it worse. But yeah, drinks help.
Yeah.
And like I had a long conversation with Echo about it because he knows how high or how bad my anxiety is.
Right.
And I was just like, it was to a point where I was drinking so much, like, because I was DJing so much.
Right.
So I was drinking like every night and dealing with hangovers. And he was like, and he would tell me to slow down, but he also knew why I did it.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't like I'm some kind of alcoholic. He knew I needed to calm myself down.
Right. And I feel like, you know, when I started DJing, I didn't go into it thinking that I was going to be playing this massive room and performing for people.
Yeah.
I just did it because I like collecting records. I would do it in my dorm.
Same.
We'd smoke
Yeah,
weed.
same.
Everybody would hang. It wasn't like, it was kind of a way to be an introvert. You
Dude,
know?
I was telling James this just this past weekend. My road manager, he was on the road, and I was just dealing with like a weird crowd, and I was just like so like just upset, and I was like, man, like this shit's crazy. Like same way, like I didn't sign up for this. I started DJing to be in my room,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I love music. I love the DJing side of things, and then you're just kind of it's hard to complain about this because this is
Right.
also a blessing.
Yes.
But you're put into these rooms where you're literally forced to entertain
Right.
a room full of people that aren't even there to see you.
Yeah.
Right.
DJing is like the hardest thing because it's like, it's one thing being a comedian, people are there to see you.
Right.
An artist, people go to see you. Unless it's like a random like stand-up open mic night. That's tough too, comedians.
Right. Yes.
But like DJing, an open format DJ, you're in this room full of thousands of people if it's a big Vegas club.
Right.
No one's there to see you. No one knows you. And you have to entertain and try to make everyone happy.
Right.
And like, think about it. If you're not really
And the way
a
music
social
is,
person, like if you deal with those type of battles, it's really hard.
Especially when you got to be on the mic too.
Yeah.
Especially, you have to be now.
Yes.
It's such a
Yes.
standard.
Yes.
And
for sure.
sometimes it's like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
to get drunk to get on the mic.
When I was first doing mic stuff, I remember going to Vegas and it was like Omar at Tao was like, "Yo,
Get on the mic."
You got
Oh,
to
yeah.
like get on. Like we need
I said the
heavy
same thing
mic
like
work."
a couple weeks ago, but like about with Omar, like that's the reason why
I feel
got
like
on
he
the mic, too.
trained a lot of DJs like how to get.
It just
comfortable
started with
the
like
mic.
shout outs for me at least,
Right.
Because you're good on the mic,
Like, yeah,
Eric, and
presentations,
then,
whatever.
yeah, presentations, whatever, and it's just I got more courage.
Yeah.
The more drunk I got, and then
Right. I used to
crazy
be
because-
scared to even do a birthday shout out. Like
It's
it would.
crazy.
I was like, okay,
because you just don't like the sound
happy
of your own
birthday.
voice. Yeah.
It's
It was-
crazy that I'm like associated with a mic because I was always a shy kid, very quiet.
Right.
I still am. Like if you're around me, like I can be very silent unless I'm really comfortable with you.
Right.
But like even like my mom was like, "That's you on the radio?" Like, but when I got on the street team, like I was on the street team to DJ.
Right.
So whenever I had to do mic stuff, I'd like be afraid, bro, nervous, shaking. Five saw me one time, bro. We did Tina T's thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in front of like 20 kids. I'm on the radio every day at the time.
Right.
I got nervous. I was like shaking and like stuttering. It's weird. Like I still get like that
Yeah.
because I wasn't born like this.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I kind of just face my fear and kind of like do it. Like even with this podcast, like sometimes it's a struggle. I don't know where to take combos. I just
Right.
kind of wing it.
Right.
But like it wasn't that natural for me.
Right.
But radio did help. So
Yeah.
when I got on to clubs, I was better, but I needed drinks to like really be confident with it.
Yeah.
Cause like, dude, when I first started DJing before this shit was like mics were a thing, you'd only get on the mic like in the little hood clubs.
Right.
They would tell me, "Oh, can you do a last call for alcohol thing?" And I'm like,
And that-
I would have the promoter or the other DJ do it. I couldn't do it.
That
Right,
would
yeah.
make me nervous too. I was
Yeah,
like,
I would have
last
promoters
call.
do it, like pass it
Yeah.
off, be like, "Yo, can you do it?" You know.
Yeah.
But I
so
feel like
how
once-
did you how did you deal with that? Because a lot of people ask us. That might be on one of these.
We talked to Vice about it last
yeah,
time, too.
about
I
mic-
think like starting with like the shout outs and stuff, and I also honestly Omar gave me like some tips. He was like, find stuff that you can say every night that that people respond to, like
birthday.
Yeah, where you can cut the music and be like, who's from the West Coast?
Yeah.
And everybody's
Yeah.
gonna yell out, and you drop California Love or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
You're gonna get a response
Yeah.
from that. You're gonna get a response from like whose birthday is it? Stuff like
Are
that.
you partying
that's-
with your best friend
Yeah,
tonight?
are you with your best friends? Like just general things that you can say at any point that are gonna get people fired up. And then you're not in your head so much thinking about like,
I do the
what am
basics,
I gonna
too.
say?
I don't go ham. Like I don't do like the Zodiac. I don't do none of
Right.
that. I'm like,
The Zodiacs.
because I would have to look
Where's
it
my
up.
Sagittarius?
Yeah, right.
No, it's hard. And then you might have a night where you're on the mic and you don't get that reaction, and it
Right.
kind of fucks up the rest of the night. Like where you
Right.
just put the mic away. Like
Right.
I remember I heard someone did like a hold up, wait a minute, and like did it hold up. The whole crowd's like, wait a minute, and he drops me. I was like, that sounds so dope.
Yeah.
So I did it one night. I was like, yo, hold up. Crickets. So I'm like, oh
Cricket.
shit.
yeah, I forgot who used to do that, but I took that too. I
never did.
I
I
use it.
never do it
And
right.
I've had nights where there's no reaction. I'm like,
Yeah.
oops.
It really does. If you're doing it well though, it just adds so much, especially when you're out of town. LA, I don't really get on the mic too often.
Yeah. You
At
don't have
Nightingale, I do because it's a bigger room. But if I was to get on the mic at Warwick, I feel like it wouldn't make sense.
One Oak,
Yeah,
we did.
Warwick is more like it looks like a living room,
Right.
Yeah.
so it
Right.
feels like a house party vibe where it
vibe,
doesn't
yeah.
need it. But
Yeah.
that's why it's dope that you do play like some 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it feels like it fits right in.
You play a lot of like album cuts type. Like I remember you were playing Flip the Narrow, but not
Right.
Leave Me Alone, but the other one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Shazam. I was like, oh, that's Flip the Narrow. But
Yeah.
you play like a lot of choice cuts too.
I because I play there every week.
Yeah.
I've and I'm always digging for music.
Yeah.
I feel like
Do it for
I
yourself,
want to,
though, right?
Yeah, and also when Warwick started, when I started DJing Warwick, it was house music in every venue, and I was like, I'm not gonna play house music here. I'm gonna play hip hop, and I started just playing like old school hip hop and like house party vibes, and then throw in some of the new stuff like as the night got later. So I feel like it kind of became a place where people were coming to listen to hip hop. And it's like, I want to play some new shit that you haven't heard before, and like break some records that, you don't get to do that in a lot of places.
Yeah, that's like the hot spot too. So everyone, like Eli
Yeah.
is there with like
I
every,
mean, Eli
YouTuber,
goes in
celebrity.
heavy. He's always bringing
So those
somebody
guys all
there.
like always up
Eli's
on new
easy
shit.
though. He's never like
Right.
asked for music.
No, I'm
Unless
saying,
he's
but
got
just
like,
chilling.
No, I'm
unless
saying.
he's got like
But he's up
Jeezy,
on new
Machine
stuff.
Gun
Yeah,
Kelly,
yeah. Oh,
and he's
yeah.
up on his shit
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Hey,
but-
play some G.
yeah, yeah,
What up, Eli?
yeah.
Saw him at the gym this morning too. So.
Of course, he probably goes 4 times a
He's
week.
probably there right
or
now.
I mean a day.
A day. Yeah,
4 times a day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very healthy.
But yeah, I like pulling out cuts that that I just heard that are new and see how they do, and think and I like being the first person to maybe play that in that.
You played
cover.
that Quavo and Saweetie, and I didn't know what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's a
the other
banger.
one I Shazam.
That's
I
a
was
secret banger.
Dude. I was like, I started playing that because of you.
Yeah, it didn't really blow up the way
It
I thought
did,
it would,
it
but
did.
it like when you play it, people
Where you have like
respond to
Saweetie
it.
fans in the crowd, they
Yeah.
know, and they're like,
Yeah, it's a
they
banger.
wild out. But
That's a secret.
Yeah, that's the
banger.
beauty of like streaming is like people know more than we think they know.
Yes.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know, because there's so many songs I've never heard of that have millions and millions of streams. I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, and people
Yeah.
request it, and I'm like, what is this that you've requested that I've never
I
heard
take
of? And I
requests
like
now,
go on
though.
Shazam and it has like 100 million streams. I'm
Dude.
like, oh, I'm sleeping.
I mean, one week I had like 3 girls asking me for Tusa by Karol G. I never
Yeah,
heard of it,
I
so
still
I
never
downloaded
heard
it on the spot at
I
Tao.
don't even know that.
Yeah, I
and
still
then
never heard of
it's
it.
a Latin record with Nicki Minaj. So I played it. They wowed out. I was in SF. Some girl asked for it. I'm like, whoa, this gotta be a banger.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
So-
Rosalia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Con Altura record. Like,
Yeah, that's
like I would hear about it here and there, but it wasn't
Yeah.
in my radar enough to like download it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I played a party for Kylie,
Yeah.
Right.
and she didn't come up to me all night and just to request that record.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my god! So I like went on and downloaded it, and she's literally watching me as I'm doing it. I'm like fucking nervous, like, oh my god, the one song she wanted I didn't have,
Right, right.
bummed her out.
That's
but she
always
was,
the worst.
She was cool about it, but and then it turns out one of her best friends is
Yeah.
Rosalia, whatever.
Right. Yeah, you always got to, like, if somebody's asking for requests and you don't know the song, it's usually a good sign that, like, I'll write it down. I'll text myself so that I get it later.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of the times it's like a banger where I'm like, how did I not know this record?
That's what Sour Milk was saying. He was like, I actually enjoy requests because I like pay attention to them.
Right.
If someone wants it, it's obviously worth looking
More
into,
than
right?
2 or 3 people asking for it.
Another thing about Devin is you do a lot of corporate parties too, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of corporate stuff.
Do you enjoy them?
I do.
Because that's
do.
like a different type
They're-
of beast.
They're
Way
easy.
different.
They're
Yeah.
honestly easy.
I
Like,
mean, yes and no.
yes, yeah.
Because you have to please the most stressed out person in the room, which is a party planner.
Right.
So they always
Yeah.
like will freak you out more than like, yo, it's fine. And they're like, the main contact is not dancing, and it's like a old 80-year-old dude that's not gonna dance regardless.
In a wheelchair.
Yeah, I just, I like whenever I do a corporate party and I feel like it goes off well and people are dancing and you can get, people that don't go out that are in their 40s or 50s dancing, I'll save that set and it'll be in like a crate of like that I know I can go into and like, oh, this is going to make anybody from age 25 to 55 dance.
Does that involve Footloose?
I mean, it could. It's definitely in my open format.
Do you make your crates in Serato or iTunes?
I do them in Serato.
Oh, okay.
I just started doing that too.
I need to
man.
start doing that.
I do 'em in
I still
Serato.
do all my shit in iTunes.
So what I did was I copy all my iTunes crates and put it in
then
Serato,
put it in
so I can just adjust them while I go. And then
you know what? Have you seen Chase B's Serato?
No,
His shit is like next level.
like OCD.
Like organized?
I don't think he's OCD because it doesn't look. It still looks sloppy, but
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like crate after crate after crate after crate. Where one crate might have like 2 records that go together.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how
wow.
It's
mine is.
insane.
Yeah,
My
bro.
shit is like
You know-
crate, subcrate,
Yeah.
subcrate, subcrate, subcrate.
But he
crate,
pulled
crate,
it off
crate.
because he got requested like a record at Avenue. It was like some dude wanted a country record,
Right.
and he like had it. And I was like, how's he gonna get out of this? Then he went to this crazy like little alternative rock set,
Right.
or like Green
Yeah.
Day, Blink type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was like, does he really know his records like that, or is he
Right.
just like, or does he have them organized? But he had like crazy crates of just shit
wow.
organized.
Right.
I'm not saying he doesn't know his records,
Yeah.
but
Right.
like I was like, damn, like
That's crazy.
I can have my main party crate has everything in there.
Right.
First
It has
time-
rock, hip hop,
Right.
you
I
name
still
it.
have that too. But first time ever, I'd saved like a set from like the night before,
Right.
and I have it in like a folder. It's like last night's set, and I like played it because I was super hungover too. I played it the next day. I just ran almost the same set, and
Right.
it worked.
Yeah, I just like
That's
to
just
have.
that was just being lazy.
I
but,
just
you know.
like to have a set. Like if I, play Omnia Vegas one night, I like to know that like, okay, if I go into the set, I know that every record in here is like a banger that you can
Yeah.
that like. If you're not on your game or
Yeah.
you can't think or for
Yeah.
whatever reason, you could just pull a song from that crate
Yeah.
and know that it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, yeah, my main party crate, like anything in there works.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
There's obviously stuff that like got dated and I
Yeah.
haven't pulled out,
So
but
you
I
put it in
just
Serato crate, and you
just
can
know.
delete it on the go.
yeah. See, you're right. I might have to start using
All my crates are named like weird things
Yeah.
too. That only
Oh,
it's like
mine's, like,
organized
fast
confusion.
shit, hood shit.
Yeah.
Everything ends with shit.
Oh, yeah.
LA shit. I got like
LA
white,
shit.
white people shit, which is
people
like
shit.
Footloose and all that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shit, So, yeah, I mean,
Shit
when
if
I look
G-Eazy
at it,
walks in,
Yes.
shit per post.
yeah, I have those crates. I have like a Machine Gun Kelly crate. I have a G-Eazy crate
Yeah.
because I know that those guys come out a bunch with Eli.
go
So
out
I want to
often.
make sure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I have like, because I'm not like that well versed in Machine Gun Kelly music, but I know that I pulled a crate that has
I think I
the
might
bangers.
have one Machine Gun Kelly song in my
Right.
head.
Wild boy.
Yeah.
Right. I put. You know what? Here's a funny story. So he came last week to Warwick on Wednesday, and Eli was like, "Yeah, go in on the Machine Gun Kelly stuff." And I forgot which one I played first, but like one of his newer bangers. And then I put on Wild Boy, and Eli texted me. He's like, "Don't play this record."
Why?
I guess Machine Gun Kelly doesn't like it anymore.
You know what's crazy?
He's like, "Don't play it. Get out of it." Like he doesn't want to hear this.
Wow.
Really?
And I was like, shit, that's
That's
for
like,
me, that's like
that's the only one.
Yeah,
in the
that's the
club.
one for me. Like I still think that's a cool record.
You want to hear
for
his
what it is.
Eminem diss record?
Yeah, and then he has that other one that's there's another one that's like 150 BPM or whatever. That's
crazy how,
that's
like,
on that album.
A lot of artists don't like to hear their biggest records.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Dude, I played.
Like old records.
Wiz is like that. Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz is like that.
Yeah.
Chris Brown doesn't want to hear Run It
Yeah.
at all.
No.
Dude, I played
Uh-huh.
Starships for Nikki, and she got so mad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a top 40 record.
Don't play Coconut Juice for Tyga.
And when you get that text from somebody who's like, "Don't get out
she
of,"
was
and
in
you're
front of me.
like the feeling that you get
She looked-
inside,
Oh my
I'm like,
God! You just go reach for a
I'm
shot.
like, oh shit.
Nikki looked at me and was like,
Why?
Starships, they probably forced her to do it. It's a
Right.
top 40 record.
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah,
dude,
that's-
be proud of your work. Got
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about duos.
Yeah.
You have
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
there you go.
duo.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
Brody
me and
Jenner.
Me and Brody.
Do you guys don't have like a duo name like 5 and 9?
You know, we were talking, like, somebody was like, you guys need a name. You can't just be like Devin Lucien and Brody Jenner. It doesn't feel like it's like a thing, you know?
DLBJ?
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yo,
That was you probably were thinking about that one. That was,
Nah, I just-
that was you came up with that pretty quick.
DLBJ.
Yeah, we've been doing that for off and on for like, I would say like four years now.
Do you prefer the duo shows or solo shows, or it depends?
I mean, I'm so used to playing shows by myself
Yeah.
that I think that's when I'm like most in the zone.
Yeah,
But also, it's fun to have
A
a
friend,
friend up
yeah.
there DJing with
always-
you,
yeah,
know?
you're never
And you
lonely.
guys, it just, you guys know, you
I
like
feel like-
bounce off each other and you.
and I
it's
feel
just
like
a fun
Brody
vibe.
is more of a social person.
Yeah.
and he'll go out there and take the shot out of his shoe.
Right.
While you DJ, he'll
That's
go.
like his thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's his thing. It's like,
Yeah.
but people love it, so he
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
go out on
I
top
feel
of
like
the
he's
stage.
cutting down on it now,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, because didn't he break his foot or something?
I mean, he's broken his foot. He's broken. I think he shattered his heel one time,
God.
like jumping off the booth.
oh my God.
But yeah, it's fun to be up there with him because you can, you know, sometimes I go to put stuff on and he's like, nah, like that's, you know, he's like, don't. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Like, cool. You
My
know,
only
like, and I
complaint-
like that
yeah.
he has the freedom to tell me that,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And sometimes I'm like,
Like
okay,
what-
yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Like what? Like saying it won't work, or saying he
just
wants to play
like
it?
you know, he'll like recommend like another record that he
Yeah.
like loves to hear me play, and I'll
Yeah.
play it, and it'll pop off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? My mind wasn't thinking
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right now, you know, and it's nice to have someone else to like bounce those ideas off of, and I think for him it allows him to, you know, when he was DJing by himself, I think it was a lot of pressure to like DJ and also
Entertain.
be social
Yeah.
and go out there and take the selfies with people.
Yeah.
So I think having me there lets him do that
Yeah.
and not feel like so overwhelmed with so much shit going on.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, you know, we've been DJing in clubs for, I think I've been DJing in clubs for 12 to 15 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in a lot of scenarios that I felt uncomfortable, and you learn how to
Yeah,
cope
for
with
sure.
it. And it's just a thing that comes with time. And, you know, he's been doing it for 5 years, and, you know, it takes time to like, okay, somebody's requesting the song, and I got to get on the mic and say
Yeah,
this, and I have to mix this record. You're like, it's a skill set that takes time to get.
100%.
So I
Figure
think
it
it helps him like not be so overwhelmed with what's
Yeah.
going on, you know?
Yeah, he could focus on being Brody,
Right.
the ladies'
and,
man.
And, you know, there's so many girls that are there to see him.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You know? And they want that selfie with him. And,
sure.
You know, and it's fun for me also because, you know, I'm walking with him and everybody just goes to him and asks for
Yeah,
pictures
yeah.
and shit. And I'm just like standing there.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's kind of a fun journey to be
Yeah,
on, you
for
know?
sure.
And
Yeah.
we've got to travel a bunch of places that, you know, I probably wouldn't have been out in Australia playing records if I wasn't with him.
Damn.
Yeah.
And, you know, we get along and, you know, there's been times where we've gotten arguments and like been drinking and got heated, but
Yeah.
very rarely. You
It
know?
happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Like Scratchy and Fashion last night. We'll tell you the story.
All right.
So real quick, what are some things you do on your like free time just to balance out the sanity of this nightlife, man? Like the traveling. I know being a dad is one thing, but like other stuff. Like I know we see you in this building a lot because you were doing like A&R stuff.
Yeah.
So is that some cool ways just to like get a little quick creative, you know, fulfillment. I guess.
Yeah, I lately it's like the older I get, the more I'm thinking like, how long is this DJ thing gonna work for me? And and thankfully, it's still working for me, and I'm
sure.
still making money. But now I have a family, and it's like the responsibilities are piling up, and the overhead piles up, and it's like, what's the shelf life for this?
Yeah.
We don't really know yet because
don't
we're
know.
kind of the first generation
That's
to
exactly
go through it.
what Graham Funky said.
Right.
We were talking about it. He was like, "Oh, people ask how old can you keep DJing or how long?" And he was just like, "We don't really know because we're literally the first wave, and there's really not that many younger kids in the same lane because think about it, a lot of younger kids started DJing because they saw Martin Garrix and how this 18-year-old kid is a multimillionaire.
Younger
so they
kids.
became producers first, EDM type of stuff.
Right.
But there's not that many kids that grew up wanting to be like AM or just
and they started on CDJs and just having a computer, and it just was a different way of coming up. And I don't think you learn your music as well when you just have a computer that has all your music that you like. And there's like a certain thing that we learned coming up. You kind of you're just exposed to more music and a different skill set of mixing and cutting and using turntables and doing this whole thing that it might be the last. It might be the end after all of us are done doing what we're doing.
Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, like the 20-year-old kids that I see DJing, they DJ a different way.
Yeah,
They
bring
it's more press
they play
and play
off their
and
phones. Or even like kids like these hipster kids from New York, they pull up with their phones and they just play off like streaming like whatever.
And even like they'll pull up songs from YouTube
that
that aren't on streaming or SoundCloud and play. It's like aux. Past the aux cord.
Post had me do that. He asked for a song from Lil Mosey, and I didn't have it, and I went online, and he saw me looking for it, and he's like, "You're gonna have to go to YouTube to get it." And I was like,
"Oh wow!"
So I went on YouTube as I was DJing and ripped it from YouTube and played it, and he was just like, "Yes."
Wow.
But it's a different. It's just different. And granted, it works for these kids because their friends are out in the club and 20 years old, and they never grew up hearing AM or Vice in a club, so they don't know what
they don't know
real DJing. Not to say that they're not real DJs, but
I feel like if they hear like us mixing or creative mixing or wordplay mixing, they're like, what the hell is he doing?
Right. It's almost over their head. Like the wordplay thing is probably doesn't even get noticed.
You're just basically doing that for other DJs.
Right. Right. And we're showing off to our friends, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I used to be a little more creative back in the days, but
it's hard. It's hard.
Dude, I used to be way better.
Yeah.
Because we probably used to sit in our rooms and play a lot more. And
and I always felt like, you make like cool like wordplay or like mix whatever, right? Like you make a little theme mix, and then someone would hear it and go make an edit out of it. So what's the point?
But not just that, like songs come out so often now where like songs don't have that much of a life anymore.
No.
Where like you can't come up with a creative mix because like chances are next month you can't do it anymore.
Right. I remember one of the first times I heard of Five was I had the opener. Somebody gave me the opener mix that he did.
Soul Joints?
The one that started with maybe it was called Soul Joints, but it was like an opener mix. It started with like Jamie Cullum.
That's definitely it. Yeah.
And I remember hearing it and being like, "Damn, this guy is fucking."
I was on vinyl too. I made that mix on vinyl.
I when I listen to it now, I can tell.
And I had everything. Those were on vinyl. Like I was passionate about like that music. I love.
It's crazy. We saw Russell Peters, the comedian. At Laugh Factory, he invited us out, so we went, and then we were sitting in front. He was like, "Man, I think I have a DJ 5 mix in my phone." He goes, like, "Actually, I think I do." And then like he pulled up Soul Joints.
I'm like, "What the
hell?" I still throw that mix on when I'm when I'm just getting set up and like gonna go get a drink at the bar or whatever. I'll throw it on and like start at that Jamie Cullum, and I'm like, this song still.
I don't know if that's the one.
We gotta for the people listening. We gotta upload that.
Yeah, I'll put it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a hidden track on one of those with I'm like just cutting up Lord Sear going like DJ 5, DJ 5. It was so annoying. So if you play that thing all the way through, like 30 seconds in, that shit started playing.
All right,
that's funny.
Crazy.
Any production?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in the studio as much as I'd like to be because
it's tough.
It's
That's
tough
a
to find the
full-time
time
thing.
because you got to be in there from noon
It's
to
a
6
full-time
every day
thing, bro.
doing that.
At least
minimum.
14 hours a day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be doing it for your entire day,
Yeah.
like every day, to really be in
It's
the
a
zone of it.
full-time commitment,
Yes,
for sure.
it is. But I thankfully my mind is always like digging for stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
always listening to samples
Yeah.
and messing around with the keyboard at home or whatever. So I'll take all that stuff and have it so that when I go into the studio with people, I have ammo that like, cool, I have these ideas, like here's this, like let's do some drums and let's knock it out and move on to the new ones so
Yeah.
that I can go in and knock out like 3 or 4 beats on the days that I do work.
Yeah.
And just, I just try to be prepared so that when I go in, I'm not sitting around
Yeah.
looking for loops
Yeah.
and stuff like
the
that.
way we used to be sitting
Right.
there. Used to sit down and like mess around with the program for like 4 hours before
right.
an idea even
Yeah.
comes.
Or listen to the same drum sound
Yeah.
over and over, go through drum sounds just to get a
I
snare
still
that
have
you
all
like.
those like
And it's
samples and like jazz and
Right.
like soul funk. I used to collect those.
yeah.
Did nothing with them.
And Splice has helped a lot with that
Oh, yeah.
too,
Splice
because
is
you know
crazy.
that the sounds that you're getting from this pack, like every sound's going to be good. and
I
you
always
don't have
like
to
will
spend
find
time-
sounds that are like, oh, I know who
Yeah,
used this.
Yeah. But yeah, doing production, I'm working, like I've worked with my boy LDG. He did Reel It In with
Okay.
T-Watt. He did the new Key Glock.
wow. Love Key
what's
Glock.
What's it called? I'm Saying, I think is the single.
I'm not sure.
But he did Reel It In as his big one. I worked with Apex Martin. He did Smoke Perps new stuff. Did Yikes. He was one of the producers on that.
Oh, wow.
So I have some stuff with them. I got some stuff with my friend Nikki, who's a producer, songwriter.
Nice.
So I just try to, I try to work with friends that I enjoy being in the
Yeah.
studio with, and feel free to like, not be anxious about sharing my ideas.
for Sure.
So yeah, I try to get in the studio when I can and make music and, but it feels like I just have like a collection of beats that sit there that are being pitched and nothing ever really.
Hey, I have an iTunes full of beats. I said I'm gonna put out a mixtape called Beats Nobody Wanted.
Right.
Volume 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
Right. Yeah.
But yo,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thanks, Dev.
Yeah.
stopping by and
Yeah,
finally
of course.
paying us a visit, bro.
Of course.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me. I'm
And
glad
let's
we
still-
finally got this worked out.
Let's still brainstorm on a specialty
yeah,
party.
Yeah, I
a
would love
party
to.
for sure.
I would
Yeah.
love to. I think it'd be good for all of us.
Devin Lucien, appreciate you, bro. Thank
Peace.
you.